Hello to my Gemini viewers. This is Yasha with SoulsIntersect, and I have your April of 2016 reading. I wanted to let you know that I also recorded an introductory video about myself and what I do. So if you are interested in watching that, I will paste the link to the video in the description to this reading. One of the things that I wanted to mention in that video that I forgot to is that I obviously don't shuffle or pull the cards on camera, but I wanted to let you know that it is very authentic. I meditate on your sign and the time period, and I always go with the first cards that I pull, so I don't alter anything. My plan is not to sugarcoat anything. It's as authentic as possible. So I just wanted to let you know that, even though the spread is all ready when I start the video. Okay, so let's get started. So I pulled 4 cards for you for this month. The top left is the Page of Swords, and then on the top right I have the 9 of Pentacles. And then I have 2 outcome cards, or they'll be themes for the month, and they are the Chariot and the Empress. Okay, so let's get started with these 2. I feel like there is a new path opening up for you that is leading to more independence in some respect, or a new way of thinking or a new approach to things that will include you being more independent in some way. So for some of you that may play out as going off on your own away from family. It could be leaving a relationship or a living situation where you're with others. Or it could just be start going out on your own, like freelancing, so becoming an independent contractor in that sense. Whatever it is, I feel like there's a lot of good, ambitious energy with you, a lot of mental focus, and it's a positive thing, so I feel like it's something that you want. So, and it could also be something really prosperous for you. So I am getting for some of you, though, that it may be kind of like a double-edged sword. So especially if it's a relationship that you're leaving, I feel like it could be something somewhat painful in some respect. I feel like you are looking ahead to the future and you are feeling optimistic and hopeful about it, but again, that it could be somewhat painful in some ways. There could also be some nostalgia if you are leaving like a company that you've been with for a while, or if you've gotten used to living with others or being with family and you're going out on your own. So it could just be kind of bittersweet, I guess is the word that's coming to me. So the interesting thing, too, is that I'm seeing a lot of relationship energy for this one. So not all of you who are watching this will be in relationships, but I feel like this reading is really focused on some of you who are. I'm also seeing this page as you, Gemini, with the air energy, and the 9 of Pentacles as someone who is an earth sign or someone who has been a stabilizing force for you, or is someone who you perceive as really grounded or tied to the earth, maybe really concerned with the environment or fertility. There could be a separation happening. It could be someone who is interested in, like one scenario could be a wife or a partner who's interested in having kids, and maybe you are not, or you're not ready for it, and a separation going on because of that sort of situation. And I feel like that's confirmed by these 2. I feel like this is the same 2 people, and I'm getting that the Chariot is the Gemini, and the Empress is someone earthy or an earth sign, possibly. I'm feeling like it may be someone with a fall birthday. and there is some sort of separation. I feel like there is a difference of opinion. It could have to do with children. It could have to do with views in general. Like one person could be more money focused, and that could be the kind of pentacle type of earth energy involved, whereas the other person may be a little bit more mental focused or focused on some other sort of causes like social justice and things like that. So it could be like a difference in views to do with money, to do with causes, or to do with desire to have children or way of living in some other way. It may not be children for all of you. It may not be it may be like a trial separation. I'm getting that word. It may not be, the decision might not be coming this month that you will separate permanently. But I see these two figures kind of tilted in slightly different directions. They're not completely back to back. And I'm referring to the figure on the chariot, of course, and then the Empress herself. They're not completely back to back, but they are looking in other directions. And I feel like something's going to take place this month, or already has, or may in the next month or so, that will result in you going in different directions, possibly a trial separation, maybe just going in different directions in terms of a project. So if it's not relationship related, it could be something with work, and the two of you could be going out on your own, like two business partners going out on their own, maybe just temporarily, maybe just to try out some sort of different project or different approaches to their business tactic or something along those lines. These two people, I really feel like have been linked. It feels like it's been a long-term relationship, and this is something that is painful and difficult. It's not easy, but it also feels like the timing is exactly right for this. And I feel like that maybe one person, though, is not as willing to do it. So I'm getting that too for some of you. One of you may be a little bit more ready for this than the other one. But regardless, I feel like the timing is right. I'm also getting a message about karmic relationships. And again, this could be business or a romantic relationship. It could also be a friend. So some of you may be going through something that has these similar themes in a friendship or a family relationship. But in terms of karmic relationships, and I wrote about it on my website a little bit, and something I specialize in is soul contract and how our souls are linked, why we meet the people that we meet, and that's what Souls Intersect is really all about. Karmic relationships are relationships with other souls that we have planned on meeting, but the nature of those types of relationships is about coming together for a limited period of time to learn something together. And it's to learn something for this lifetime, and usually to clear something that it's usually something negative that you experienced in a previous lifetime or in multiple previous lifetimes. And the lesson learned could be something really positive. It could just be to simply undo the karma that you've experienced together. Limited doesn't mean weeks or months. It could last years. There are a lot of instances where people are married to a karmic partner, and these can be particularly difficult to understand, and especially when they end, because it can seem really confusing that when the contract ends like this. It doesn't feel like it does with a soul family relationship. So with a soulmate, either romantically or even like a soul partner, a soul family member that is a current family member or a friend or some other sort of relationship that you're in. They tend to feel a lot easier. You may even go separate ways at some points, but you come back together easily. With karmic relationships, when they end, it can be confusing and painful because it feels like something just ran out and you could not understand it or just feel guilty that you suddenly don't feel the way that you felt anymore or don't see eye to eye, like in terms of a business anymore. But usually what that means is that the contract has ended or is coming to an end. So I know that was a bit of a tangent, but I feel like it's really important for some of you Geminis for this month, and I'm really picking that up from these cards. Part of the reason is that the energies of these two cards are so different. And one interesting thing, another thing about karmic relationships is that it's interesting because the two people can be fairly incompatible in some ways, like their views or other things, and they may not even understand what really brought them together. A lot of times it really is like that opposites attract energy. And the reason is that because energetically you were meant to be partnered up for at least that limited period of time. So energetically you were supported even if your views or interests were didn't align. And that's why it can seem sort of contradictory. And I'm getting that with these two cards, and so I feel like it's really confirming for me that there is some sort of karmic relationship that the energy is there for it to end or for you to go separate ways or possibly just take a different approach for some of you. But I'm really feeling a lot of cords and that it may be really painful to break away. It's also possible that the roles are kind of switched here. So you, Gemini, may be the person, I'm picking up again on that, like wanting to have children energy. The Gemini could be the person who is wanting that, and the other person not so interested and possibly wanting to pull away for that reason. There is love. I feel like if that's the case, either direction, that the person wants, that both people want the other to be happy, that there's a lot of caring and love, but it's just the not seeing eye to eye. And going back up here, I do see them with a little bit more having their backs to each other. It's still not quite back to back, but they're definitely facing in different directions, and their focus is on different things. Because I'm of this Nine of Pentacles energy, I'm also picking up that there may be some hesitancy because of money issues and because maybe one person or the other is not sure that they can, isn't confident that they can be independent, that they're ready for that. So there could be some hesitancy with that as well. I'm really picking up a lot of not wanting to break those bonds, feeling it's like too painful to face. And there's just a lot of hesitancy to do so. And the thing, though, with these karmic relationships is that once the contract is done, it's really done. And it can be really stagnant to remain in a partnership or relationship like this. Of course, you have to trust your instincts and do things when you're ready as well. But just this word of advice is that it can, there really isn't much left to learn from staying just because emotionally you feel tied. So I don't know who that's speaking to, but my advice would definitely be to reach up to your higher guidance. I'm really seeing the feather in the cap of this page here, and feathers can be a very spiritual energy, can really call upon you to meditate and seek your higher guidance in helping working through those emotions, and this is true for both people in the partnership, to really help you to make the right decision and do what's best for your life's mission and your path and your growth moving forward. So it's a bit heavy, and honestly, the energy of the reading is positive. Like, I feel like the time is right. I feel like things are lined up. There's just a lot of freedom energy too. But empathically, I'm really picking up on a lot of that hesitancy. So I wanted to make sure to get that message across too. Okay, Gemini, I hope this reading speaks to you, and I would love to hear from you if you have any comments or questions. And if you're interested in a private reading, you can email me at soulsintersect@gmail.com. Thank you.